Bro, I hate how good you are at impressions. Tradies and gentlewomen, the table is half set. It's like 2/3 set, really, Ned.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're hitting this Veggie Bake without the Froome. He's away working.
I've been in the country there.
I'm
struggling to get that 4G.
fucking struggling, right? I sent him a video like fucking 3 weeks ago, bro. He's still trying to load the fucking thing.
It's fucking up on a rock. Just fucking
Um,
calling in the service from the gods.
but we are here with the Ned. How
We
you
are.
doing, bud?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, buddy. I'm back on night shift this week, so I was throwing me around a little bit, but fucking
It would be
back in the swing of things.
yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
if you there at home, just remember to like, subscribe, follow, share anything at Eggplant Tornado Podcast on any of your socials. Maybe I won't have to work night shift anymore, and you can, get our beautiful faces every day.
And yeah, it'd be fucking beautiful if you could do that. Just do whatever you feel is best at the time. If you want to dislike shit, I find that more amusing.
It's so funny.
If we could get more dislikes on videos, that'd be muchly appreciated.
I mean, yeah, not great in the long run, but still hilarious.
Yeah, actually,
Just like it's just great when I put something up that like I find personally funny that we've done, and then a bunch of people dislike because I'm just like, it's so funny.
yeah. I don't like. There's some shit that I'm just like, why do people disagree? What was the one that I'm like really offended about?
Offended?
No, the glasses, bro. That you can record shit, like screenshot shit.
Yeah,
How can you be offended by that?
Yeah.
Like, how can you dislike that? That's a fucking.
I got so many dislikes. It was just a general concept. It wasn't even like anything. It was just like, oh, this is a thing that should happen. It was like, no,
Yeah.
fuck you,
I can't get it. That was a fucking
fuck this
beautiful.
guy and anything he stands for.
Yeah, it was a beautiful idea, though, in my opinion. I thought it was fucking great.
Speaking of fuck this guy and anything he stands for, why don't we just roll into what we were going to talk about at the top of the show here? A little bit of a fucking Tate update.
Little fucking tater updater.
Fucking update.
Little
Uptate.
The update. We're hitting with an update.
A weekly update.
Well, yeah, with that weekly update, they appealed the 30-day detention.
Failed.
I guess you call it. Yeah, got rejected.
Mm-hmm.
The next bit of news I seen was that they want to increase the 30 days to 180 days, which is
Interesting.
yeah, real interesting. I don't know. Like, I want to.
My biggest question is, how is he still tweeting from prison?
This be his cousin. His cousin didn't get locked up, so him, his brother, and his assistant, I believe.
Those two assistants.
There's
There's like two female assistants that have been locked up with him.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, so they're locked up, and then so the cousin is like still out essentially, and he'd be running the Twitter and shit. And from my understanding of like videos I've watched and shit, the cousin's like a real fucking intelligent dude.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he'd be out running shit behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Apparently they've taken 11 cars, 2 houses, so they can't. So that this way the Tate brothers can't like sell them to get money to fight for themselves.
But like, why do they have the right to take their property?
I don't know. I don't really know how the Romanian shit works, but like that's just they were like they can't try like sell this to get money to.
Well, I mean, unless they're saying that all of our stuff was bought through illegal means.
Yeah, maybe it was actually
Yeah.
But you never know, like because you're not getting. I seen some other thing. It was just like Romania like won't give you the full story until they feel like they've got the full story. Like,
Yeah,
they're not going to
100%.
give you like drips and draps.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Romania, and I think that's probably by design.
Yeah. Logan Paul came out saying
Fuck
that
that guy, man.
such a weird cunt. Have you seen the fucking video? It's
Jake,
just,
if you're listening, get as far away from your brother as possible.
how crazy that used to be the other way.
It's so fucking crazy, man. Just this massive dynamic shift. I'd like to make a documentary on it, to be honest.
Just on them two fucking retards. Well, like,
Just the way that the dynamic has shifted, man. Like they both started in the same place. Then, like, obviously, like, Logan gained a bunch of popularity and Jake was sort of, like, on the sidelines or whatever. Whole Suicide Forest thing happens. Logan has his downfall, then has his triumphant fucking return. Then all of a sudden, Jake comes out of nowhere and starts being this super villain to everybody.
Yeah.
And everyone fucking hates him. And then come 2 years later, it's fucking, you know, he's, like, rejecting championship belts that are being offered to him, signing agreements that are, like helping fighters get better pay, and Logan Paul's on his podcast fucking like spruiking his shitty fucking drink that he doesn't actually like have any like he's not they're majority like shareholders in it, but
Have you ever seen him drink any?
no.
Sus?
Very sus.
Sus?
100%.
Bro, fucking drink your own drink. You fucking don't sneak around the back and have a fucking Powerade after you just promoted this fucking cat piss to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Get off our dicks, for one.
But sorry, we got kind of sidetracked there. What were you gonna say?
Have you seen the video? It's like an animated video of Logan and Mike robbing someone in an alley.
No.
Oh my god, it is the funniest thing ever. I'll find it later. It's hilarious. What was I gonna say? Logan Paul has like come out now agreeing with Andrew Tate that the Matrix is real. I reckon, like, because Tate came out with a bunch of videos saying that like Logan's part of the Matrix. Because you always see him like just reading scripted shit off his phone instead of like looking around the podcast. It'll be like, yes, well, there's no way that the Matrix exists because these things here, like, it's just super
I have
weird.
seen a couple of like videos like that come up where there's like a couple of like times where he'll be like, it looks like he's genuinely saying something, but he's blatantly like looking down and reading off a piece of paper or his phone or some shit like that.
Super, super weird. But now he's come out with like a bunch of shit, like agreeing with like, oh yeah, the Matrix is real, and like, are people just getting him to say this shit? Just so like what the fuck is happening in the world right now, man?
Or is it like, because a lot of people a lot of people are trying to say that the Tate situation, if you were somebody who had gained a lot of popularity, but you knew you had done a bunch of wrong things in the past, allegedly.
Yeah.
And you knew that the authorities were building a case against you and were coming to get you, wouldn't it be a smart thing to go online to your millions and millions of followers and say, oh, the Matrix is, converging against me and they're going to come and get me?
I have thought about it in that sense.
So maybe Logan Paul has had that same thought because everyone's fucking turning against him. And speaking of turning against him, if you're that George guy and you're listening to this, don't start your own podcast.
I like that today.
He's way more genuine than those other two wankers. Oh, I dated Lana Rhodes and I'm an ex-heroin addict. Fuck off, Mike. No one cares.
No one likes you either, Mike.
Literally. Like, it goes Dylan Dennis, Mike Maljack. You're only
Logan
one
Paul.
step above Dylan Dennis. Think about that.
That's bad.
That's pretty fucking bad.
George, though, if you want to help the boys out, I'll be a part of the show for a little while.
Hey.
That's why you get on your feet.
You can talk about whatever the fuck you want, man. We ain't gonna fucking talk shit about it.
I mean, I'm a firm believer of just believing whatever the fuck you want.
Hey, you better believe.
Like, but it's not even like that George dude's just like going around preaching or anything like that. Like,
No.
Logan was just shitting on him, just like, oh no, you're a Christian, so I'm just going to shit on you about it.
Yeah, because people think that's funny. That's the other thing as well. It's like, how old is Logan now?
Be like mid-20s, wouldn't
A little bit later. He's the older one, isn't he?
he? Yeah, probably 28.
Yeah. So, like, a little bit younger than us.
Yeah.
I feel like he's understanding that he's starting to grow up and grow out of what's cool.
Yeah.
And he's really struggling to fucking... He's becoming an old man and he doesn't want to be.
No.
Because that's the other thing as well. Like, culture moves so fucking fast these days as well. It's like 28-year-olds aren't really relevant anymore.
No, fuck no. Well, like, yeah, it's like the younger people that are watching all them fucking silly videos and shit, you know what I mean? Like, so it's his younger population that got him to where he is, and then once they're to the point where they're like, oh, like, he's just not doing funny shit anymore, you just start to become irrelevant unless you do shit that's relevant to
exactly
people your age group, which he's like tried to do with his podcast, and
which is why everything that, like, regardless of whether he did it in like a genuine way, whether he's like, like just regardless of intentions or anything like that, the way that Jake has now managed his career is he's like taken the control out of this like younger population, and he's now put his career in the hands of a bunch of people. Like he's like, instead of just catering to what Logan tries to cater to in the sense of bit of technical difficulties there.
Franklin, what are you doing, bro?
What are you doing? He's only been back 2 weeks. Fuck me. It's a new year. Like, shit. Together.
Sure, like,
Anyway, as I was
something like
saying.
happening again, bro. It's fine.
Anyway. So, like, obviously, like, Logan's trying to, like, cater to this younger fan base kind of thing and struggling to hold on, like I was mentioning before. But Jake has now moved on to this whole combat sports fan base, which is just varying, man. Like, people will argue about combat sports from the age of 20 to the age of 80.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be arguing about fights until the day that I die.
I've been arguing about fights since, maybe I was like 12, I reckon.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I will argue about fights.
Exactly. It's not a thing that like whereas, you know, Logan Paul is going to fucking wear out on people and his shtick is going to fucking wear out on people after a while.
It already fucking has worn out on me, Ned.
The fact that, like,
have it up to fucking here.
That's the thing. Like, everything that Jake's done in combat sports so far, as like little as it is, already means that he exists way longer in history books than his brother.
We're beating like Anderson Silva. He lived forever. Like,
no one talks about Logan Paul in 100 years.
What, losing to?
No one talks about Logan Paul in general. Just, who is this YouTuber that had a bit of fucking popularity for a little bit of time, as opposed to this random guy who beat arguably one of the best strikers of all time.
Yeah, an MMA. Fucking
yeah.
I mean, Logan will get remembered for the Suicide Forest thing. Because, dude, like...
No, he won't. That's the thing. Like,
it wasn't that big of a deal.
It wasn't that big of a deal. You know what people will remember? That Chris D'Elia owned him. That's it.
Boy. Oh, bro. Thank you.
That's what people will remember.
Thank you. I did need a third. This just slid right on in.
Hey. Bit of a sizzle for later on.
Just a bit of a...
We got an old school. But anyway, like, yeah, exactly that. It's like, no one's going to remember that cunt in 100 years, man.
Yeah, that is a good point.
And he's starting to realize that. And that's why he's starting to be edgy and fucking this and that. And it's like, well, no, like, you needed to be that from day dot.
Yeah. Yeah, not like...
Real life doesn't work like your WWE career, Logan. You can't just turn heel in the fucking real world and all of a sudden, like, that's not how it works. I'm going to be a dick to my friends, regardless of whether it's, like, true or not, or whether it's just, like, fake for the podcast. Like, you're a piece of shit either way. That's your way to popularity.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing his, like...
Downfall.
This downfall. Bring up a little segment we're going to fucking bring into the Veggie Bake here.
A new little segment. People fucking froth it, man, so why not provide?
I mean, it's like I said to you, it's just like a throwback. Like, you, like, think about something, and then it just brings back, like, the whole memory of, like, the build-up, the match. Like, as soon as you brought that idea up this morning, like, instantly, like, shit just started firing in my head. I was just, like, thinking about different promos, different build-ups, different matches.
Well, we're going to do one a week, but let's just do one each this week, because I saw one last night that just needs to be talked about.
You can hit us with yours. I got mine written down.
All right, cool.
Bits and pieces.
Cool. All right, so did you ever see the match between Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon, where Kurt Angle broke his back? Dude, I was watching a clip of Kurt Angle on the Stone Cold podcast and watching, oh my God. So at the end of the match, or like midway through it or whatever, they're up on the fucking ramparts and Angle's injured his back. And the script was for Angle to, I can't remember, it's that front suplex where he just sort of throws him over his head. Belly to belly suplex. He was going to belly to belly him through this pane of glass. But what had happened before the show is because of the pyros for like one of the other fighters being so close to the glass, they had to put this like protective sealant over it, which strengthened the glass to such a degree that Angle, with his, 3 broken vertebrae in his back, which, dude, fucking animal.
Can we just give a fucking shout out to Kurt Angle? What a fucking beast, bro. Won Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
With a broken neck.
But like, he's a fucking animal, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Just, like, that is true. Like, that's Goggins level shit right there. Like, I have broken my... And he's like, I knew I did something in my back. He's like, my back was fucked. He's like, but I just had to keep going. And then after that, yeah, like, so it goes to belly, McMahon through the fucking glass pane, and it doesn't break.
Yeah.
Shane lands directly on his head on metal, tries it again, fails, tries it a third time, gets him through, and then has to do it back through another pane, back through... Oh, no, sorry. So he went through this one, then he dragged him back out and did the same thing through the second pane of glass.
Yeah.
Then they're in there and like behind it and stuff. And then he tries to, it's obviously like a much smaller space where he was trying to do it and his back's fucked. So the same thing happened again twice. He just does it and drops Shane McMahon on his head twice. They're both just bleeding profusely, like real blood.
That was a gangster match.
Apparently to the point that McMahon was literally like feet away, like Vince was feet away from them about to like call it and be like, no, you just can't fucking do this anymore. And Kurt was just like, no, I'll just throw him through head first. Gets him through head first, drags him back to the ring, and then with a broken back to finish the match, get that piece of plywood and puts it on the top rope and Angle slams him off the top rope. Oh my God, man.
What a gangster match.
Fucking gangster shit.
Shane McMahon was also just like one of the most underappreciated badass motherfuckers
literally
in that company, man.
Every comment section says that is just like Shane McMahon is one of the most underappreciated fucking performers of all time. If you look
100%.
at his highlight reel, it's that one where he jumps from the fucking, where he's like on top of the lighting rack and he just jumps directly through the floor.
Yeah.
Like, that's plywood.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like, and
that's a 20-foot drop.
They go over the top of it afterwards and there's not much padding in there.
Dude.
You can see like the one small gym mat.
Fuck
You're like,
all.
what? But like he didn't have to be doing this crazy shit. His dad owned WWE.
Yeah.
Why is he jumping
He
off
could have
shit?
just sat at home and done nothing. But that's the, like, it's one of those things. It's like to come from nothing and do all of that shit. Yeah, cool. But to be somebody who would have never had to work a day in their life, but still risk death for the company.
Yeah.
Fucking big ups.
Massive ups. He's a fucking beast.
But yeah, what a brutal fucking match, man. It's crazy. Like, obviously, when you're a kid, you think it's fake kind of thing. Then you like grow out of it as a teenager, and then as an adult, you actually start to appreciate like these cunts put their body on the fucking line and every time.
It's not like I appreciate combat sports like the most out of anything, obviously, but these motherfuckers are doing it like 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like I'll just fucking go out, fucking do a mad camp, have a fire, like rest for a bit. No. What the fuck? What is rest?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers ain't resting shit.
That's it, man. Yeah, like legit, like 3 to 4 nights a week, and then just traveling in between.
Yeah. Well, it's like the whole issue CM Punk had with him, and why he ended up falling through with them because he needed surgery, and they just kept on being like, oh, maybe just like this one match here, and then he was like, okay. Just kept being like, okay, and it got to they were like, oh, we'll just get you to wrestle Ryback once more, and he was like, fuck this. He's literally like, fuck you, like I'm not doing.
It was
this
like the third time. I seen this literally yesterday as well. It was like the third time. They wanted him to fight Ryback.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Ryback's real rough.
Exactly, yeah. He's like had notorious for hurting people. And he's like, I'm not doing it again. He's like 2 times in a row he's fucking injured me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fucking it.
Yeah, so like, you know, it fucked him out in that situation. Whereas if they just gave him the rest he needed, he'd probably still be one of the biggest fucking stars and he wouldn't have had to go to the UFC and embarrass himself.
Yeah, 100%. Keyword, embarrass.
Oh man, it's something to talk about on the eggplant, obviously. But how the fuck did he have Duke Rufus as a coach and still look like he's never thrown a fucking punch? Like he's training with Tyrone Woodley and shit, bro. Like, you get to watch CM Punk and Tyrone Woodley train together.
Yeah, I don't get that. And that was top of his game, Tyrone Woodley too.
Champ. Like,
yeah.
Champ.
Greatest,
Usman.
potentially greatest fucking welterweight of all time, Tyrone Woodley.
Yeah, strange. My WWE moment, Ned. Oh, I'm excited. My WWE moment. Oh, it's a good one. It is a good one. So, Survivor Series 2003.
Mm-hmm.
The Undertaker versus Vince McMahon, buried alive match.
I've seen clips of this. I didn't watch the match itself kind of thing.
So, to me, the match isn't even the most impressive thing. The most impressive thing about everything, Ned, had to be the build-up. Like, Undertaker gets his fucking ass kicked in a match, wins the match, but then like people come out, kick the shit out of him, Ned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking, you could see shit going up the ramp, Ned. You got the
Flowing.
just flowing out of down his leather pants,
It's the river shit.
down the pants. But he's like laying on top of the ramp, bro. And Vince McMahon just comes from his like skybox, just struts his way down the fucking crowd.
It's like a fucking bobblehead.
Right. Struts his way down. Takes like 10 minutes.
Hey.
You just like fucking wait, and the Undertaker's just got to lay there. Like they cut to a break and shit. They come back. He's like still 2 flights of steps down, like stairs down. Like he's gone fuck all. Gets on top of him, right? I read some of this shit down because it's fucking gold. So he just won a match, giving him the shot at whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
So obviously he's gone for that gold.
Yeah.
He'd be crazy not to.
I mean, it's a big undertaking.
Oh.
I'll see myself out for that one.
He says the match is going to take place at Survivor Series, which is huge for The Undertaker. He debuted at Survivor Series. It's like, I think it was like 12 years he's been in the business or some shit.
And the old fucking, the old purple boots and gloves, hey?
Yeah, when he first came out, just
Hey.
like full dead man.
With Paul Bearer.
So Vince is like, okay, what type of match is it going to be? And he hits him with a Bro, I hate how good you are at impressions, eh? I was talking to Ryan about it recently. I'm like, bro, I can't do impressions for my life, bro. And I kind of can just do them all. But yeah, so it's Buried Alive. So, you know, Vince starts just talking
I'm going to
about...
get a couple more in my repertoire if we're doing these fucking... Dude, that's interesting. Well, I don't know if you can pre-warn me. I'll just get a fucking... I'll cut promos. We're doing it.
For it. So yeah, Vince is just talking about The Undertaker. He's going to get buried alive by Brock Lesnar. He's got no shot at winning the belt. Undertaker stands up and just fucking takes the mic. Instantly, the second he takes the fucking mic, bro, he like, did you ever notice that anytime The Undertaker had a mic, it never had the WWE logo around it?
No.
Anyone else holds the mic, they've got to hold like the bottom part of the mic. And it's got the big WWE logo box.
Yeah.
And then it's got the mic head. Undertaker, within 10 seconds of holding the mic, regardless of how we got it, that thing would be off. And he holds it like up like a vocalist would hold a mic. But like, yeah, if anyone paid attention to The Undertaker, they'd know. They'd be like, yeah, he just did that all the time.
That's a real little known obscure WWE fact.
Yeah, well, I want to know. Let us know in the comments if you've noticed this fact. Like,
yeah.
Please, like, because it's something I picked up when I was younger, and then just watching that video, like, instantly, like, you hear him snatch the mic, and then you hear, like, him just pulling the thing off. He's the only person to ever fucking do it.
That's interesting.
So he does that, and he says something along the lines of, you see, Vince, you're wrong. I'm not going to be versing Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. And you kind of see Vince, like, ticking over, like, what's he going to be versing? And he's like, I'm going to be versing you. Like, in his little Undertaker voice. And it's just gold. It goes from that to another segment of The Undertaker just sitting and talking. And it's actually, like, pretty deep. It's like, you never really see the serious side of The Undertaker. He's always, like, in gimmick, like whether he's like the badass motorbike rider or he's fucking dead or whatever the fuck's happening. But it's like, this is just him talking about like how this is personal to him. Like Vince insulted him as a man and insulted him as like an employee.
Yeah.
And he like cuts like a full heartfelt promo talking about like how he's going to hold Vince accountable for like all the things that he did. And then the next promo, we cut to a fucking graveyard. I have a few issues with this. Start with, can we talk about work health and safety?
OH&S.
Why is there no fencing around the grave for one?
Hey, security fencing.
Should have a hard hat on.
Couple of bollards.
There's a lot of things wrong with this whole situation.
Some safety tape.
The worst thing is like they've just got to record him. They're just recording him while he's trying to work.
Hey.
And he's just got to cut some other fucking promo about like all the souls that he's buried in this graveyard and shit. It's like he goes back to like old Undertaker. When I was watching this as a kid, I was like, oh shit, it's about to fucking like
go down.
It's about like he's about to come out at Survivor Series as the dead man type thing. I was like, this is so fucking gangster. The match itself, Ned. Maybe one of my favorite matches, and it's like the Boss versus the Undertaker. So it's not real technical by any means. there's a point through the match where Undertaker puts Vince's leg in a chair and jumps on it, like essentially like breaks his ankle.
But like it's some of that shit you can't fake. Like that's a
Fucking
piece of metal
metal
coming
chair.
down on your ankle. It's gonna hurt.
And a fucking 200-something pound man on top of the cunt.
Yeah. That was always my favorite part about the WWE as well. Like
700 pounds. And shit.
like, dude, like 300 and something pounds, and it's like it didn't weigh that much.
Yeah. It was like when the Big Show used to come out, they used to say he was 500 pounds.
Fucking
You're not 500 pounds. And stop telling people you are if you're not. Have you seen that motherfucker recently?
no.
Shredded.
Oh, actually, no. Yeah, I did see because he did a like voiceover work for one of the Destiny games, and he was doing promo for it. And I like legit didn't recognize him. I was like, "Who the fuck's this giant guy?" And then I was like,
Massive.
"Who the fuck? That's the Big Show."
Massive. But after he breaks his ankle, he breaks his ankle. He walks up. There's my cap. He walks up to the gravesite that was just got at the top of the stage. Hunt gets a shovel. The Undertaker gets a shovel. Comes back and proceeds to smack Vince in the face with it so hard that you hear it, man.
Oh,
Like you hear the king. Like, oh no, that happened, and Vince straight away, like, there's not like a couple of seconds where he's got the chance to kind of razor himself. He started hissing out blood, man. Instantly. So, like, he got fucking cracked with that fucking shovel.
oh yeah.
Also, I forgot to bring this point up. At the start of the match, the first thing that happened at the start of the match, Undertaker broke his hand punching Vince. It's like known fact that it happened. Because Vince's whole spiel going into it was that he became like a man of God and everything. Undertaker was like coming to try to take him to hell. Like it was like this whole weird fucking thing. He's like doing this weird praying thing in front of the Undertaker, and Undertaker literally just leans back and just cocks a right hand into him, mate. And like after that, the whole point you can see Undertaker like, holy fuck, like shouldn't have done that so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like full jacked his hand. We get to the end of the match, like Vince just been beaten, bloodied. It's a beautiful sight to see as like a WWE fan. Like you're just like, we're finally never gonna have to deal with this psychopath ever again.
Yeah.
Undertaker's gonna bury him. Everything's gonna be good. Fucking gets him up into the grave. Fucking goes to hop into the tractor, which is for one. I knew something sus was happening straight away because he wouldn't hop into a fucking tractor.
Yeah.
The Undertaker, bro. He's gonna fucking throw that shit on. Big fire explosion. I want to bring up work health and safety issue number 2. Probably shouldn't have fire explosions in people's faces.
Nah, probably not.
Real issue. So fucking blows him out of this fucking tractor. It's like a fucking 30-foot fall. It's not. It's like it's a set of the fucking stairs.
Yeah.
He fucking falls like 3 stories out of this fucking tractor, Nettie. Fucking lands, ruffles, you can't see. His fucking eyes have been burnt out from a fucking fire. Kane pops out of the motherfucking tractor. Fucking Kane, bro. His brother. His brother from another mother, I think. I think it might have the same dad. I don't know.
Parts unknown.
But yeah, well, fucking, it's not somewhere you want to go at night.
Nah.
Let's just say that. So fucking, he hops out. He fucking punches down Undertaker a few times. He throws him in the hole, and he buries him. And then, like, that's it. Is it over for the Undertaker, or does he come back? I mean, tune in
Next week to find
next
out.
week. Find out what happens next.
The
Like-
thrilling conclusion.
But I mean, for our first one, it doesn't get much better than.
Nah, it's a
them
pretty
two,
good
really,
fucking
'cause-
moment, hey?
Well, even that Kurt Angle moment, like that would be in my notes eventually, because yeah, a point that I would have made is that Shane kept like Kurt was like, oh, maybe that's enough, hey, and Shane was like, no, try again.
Yeah.
Like he was whispering in his ear, like, I'm fine, just try again. And he's like, no, you're not fine. It's landing on your face.
Legit, like there's parts of the video where you like they're both like laying on top of one another behind the glass panes, and the ref is like, guys, can you fucking like you can't do this much longer, like this is fucked.
He's broken in half. Oh, what a fucking. So we might roll into top 3, Nettie. We're gonna do a little top 3. It's been a while since we've done one.
Haven't done a rankings episode in a fucking while.
I mean, this seems like a good one to do when Froome's not in, because I don't feel like he's as invested in the topic as we are.
Yeah.
And it's also cool because we both have something coming up with the topic involved.
Exactly.
So, do you want to hit the people with what we're doing, Ned?
Well, we're going to just do like a top 3 of our stand-up comedians. And sort of talk about like, like why they're funny and some of their fucking best bits and stuff like that.
I mean, I can hit us right now with our number 3 because it popped into my head like not long ago. Chris D'Elia.
Yeah, solid.
I find him funny because his weird, awkward style, his weird facial expressions, but like everything falls into the way he does comedy so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just his weird, like big, lanky, awkward, like presence on stage with his jokes. Like he's like does a weird like bird thing, like when he's trying to be like that eagle or whatever. Just fucking suits so well, man. Like it's great. Very fucking like witty as well.
Yeah.
Like, he done the roast of Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
Just the shit that he said throughout that was great. He copped flack from who's that dude from the Fast and Furious?
Ludacris?
Ludacris was on it. Yeah, Ludacris after he like went up apparently and tried to be like, yo, Ludacris tried to shake his hand and Ludacris was like, nah, man. And he's like, oh, what? And he's like, nah, man. You like don't find it funny the jokes you made about like Paul Walker and that. He's like, oh, that wasn't me, dude. He's like, nah, yeah, the roast. And he's like, yeah, I didn't make them jokes, hey. And he's like, nah, yeah, you did, so I don't want to fuck with him. The way it was apparently, he's like, oh, all right. Like spoke about it on a podcast, but he's just like, man, I didn't fucking say them things.
I don't even think there was any jokes about Paul Walker. The only,
someone did make one.
The only jokes I can remember, like really bad from a roast, was like right after Ryan Dunn died, and somebody said something to Steve-O about it because he was on a roast. The Charlie Sheen roast.
Yeah, who did say that? Because he was fucking.
He laughed, but even then, it was
not
like
really. It was like
he was like, haha, yeah, like.
Oh, that chick said it. Eh?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
No, it's not Amy Schumer, is it?
Yeah, I think it was Amy Schumer. But I think she was on that one. Yeah, it was Amy Schumer. That's right.
Yeah.
That fucking joke thief.
But it's just like literally like none of the comedians were like, oh, like even Steve-O's laugh was like, oh yeah, cool, she said that.
Dude, have you seen the roast of Rob Lowe?
Yeah. All of them roast them out.
But specifically because they had that Ann Coulter bitch on. Ann Coulter. So she's like a right-wing fucking news reporter and shit over in the
real,
state.
Like the scarecrow looking
she was like a Trump sympathizer and stuff like that. Like, holy fuck.
Pete Davidson makes a joke like, Ann Davis is here. Who's gonna scare the birds away? Oh my fucking god.
No, Jimmy Carr's joke is the best. Fuck, I can't remember what he says. He says something about like the name of one of her books. I can't remember the whole thing, and it loses its impact without it. But the end of the joke is just, there's still time left, Dan. You could kill yourself.
Love it. Fucking love it.
Oh, it's fucking amazing. But yeah, D'Elia.
I mean, I was never a big fan of him until maybe like a year ago as well, which sucks, man, because he's fucking great.
His stand-up's amazing. The funniest thing he does is interrupt Brian Callen when Brian Callen interrupts him. Dude, the best clip of all time is the one where he hits that, like where Theo's next to him and he hits that note and he's just like, oops, and then Theo's like, damn man, you gotta go sleep in your car after that.
Oh fuck, that's so good. Your number 3.
I was really like,
I know you're number 1. I'm unsure about your other 2 though.
My number, I'm gonna go with Schultz number 3, purely because he hasn't like been like I fucking love him as a comedian kind of thing, but as opposed to the other 2, he hasn't been in my like life for as long kind of thing.
Yeah.
But just a fucking brilliant comedian, man.
I've taken a liking to him lately.
All of his stuff's on YouTube, so you can go and watch it. And like, you could watch if you've never watched Andrew Schultz, you could watch his latest special, but do yourself a favor and go back and watch his, what are they called? So there's a special called 441, where he does like 4 different sets in 4 comedy clubs kind of thing. And then, I can't remember the name of the second one, but it's also a series, like it's a full special, but it's in like a 6-part series.
Yeah.
And that one's fucking brilliant, man. Like absolutely, amazing. And then he didn't do a special for a couple of years, and then released his latest one, Infamous, which is fucking like, it's like I said, if you haven't watched him before, go back and watch those earlier ones because it's brilliant comedy, brilliant bits kind of thing. He has a very similar style to like my top comedian kind of thing. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But the jump in between his like the special in between that 441 and the Infamous, and then Infamous is just on another fucking planet. Also, one of the best intros to his fucking like special of all time. Like has Bruce Buffer come out on a fucking balcony.
It doesn't get better than that, right?
It doesn't. It's literally like the best idea, and he is a genius with that shit. He knows what is fucking what.
Yeah, it's top fucking.
Like he's pretty much like the guy that made like YouTube comedy what it is.
Yeah, I've only taken like a recent liking to him. I really enjoy his shit though. I've been like watching his podcast a bit too. It's chaos, but like just flows well.
Dude, it's so funny because like you watch his podcast and he puts on this character of him being like, you know, an idiot kind of thing. Yeah. And then you see him get into a serious conversation with somebody and you're like, this dude is extremely fucking intellectual.
Yeah, you can tell when he's like
genius level intellect.
Been watching the episode with Mr. Beast recently.
Yes.
And it's just like, yeah, when they get into like actual intelligent conversation, he's like, oh yeah, okay. But then like half the time he's just like taking the piss.
Yeah, that's it. And it's funny when he does too, because like he'll just like, you can tell at the start of an episode whether it's going to be serious or whether he's just going to do this shit. Like because he does like Flagrant, and then he does another podcast called Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne. And he's been doing this thing for the past couple of weeks on Brilliant Idiots where he's just like, no, I'm gay. Like just every, like the whole episode is just his excuse for everything. Like, no, man, I'm gay. Like,
so yeah, which I kind of get because like,
it's just like,
I'm a lot the same. It's like, just depends what kind of mood you're in on the day.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
You're just going to stay in that weird kind of mood.
Also, shout out, like, if you do watch Flagrant and you haven't fucking watched it, go and watch Akash's special as well. His co-host.
Which one?
The little Indian guy that we watched the special of.
Yeah, he's funny too.
He's fucking brilliant, man.
Yeah, that's mad.
It's great because he's got the same kind of style as Schultz, but he's black, so he can kind of get away with saying a lot more.
Yeah, well, I feel like everyone needs a black friend.
All right, that's my number 3. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is...
Oh, we got one of you missing.
Theo.
Yes, of course.
Has to be Theo. I mean, he's just a fucking beautiful man, really.
Just fuck, man.
He's a fucking strange fucking man.
Yeah, 100%.
I like him just because he fucking literally just wears his heart on his sleeve, even throughout his comedy. He's just like him.
Yeah.
But like, I don't even think he's a real person. So it's like, I don't know what I'm watching sometimes, but I'm just drawn to him.
Yeah. Yeah, he just has fucking charisma.
Yeah. If you haven't heard him before, go and listen to, I think it's called like Daryl Strawberry or something. It's like a This Is Not Happening story. It's about why he quit cocaine.
Yeah.
It is the funniest fucking thing you'll ever hear. Or just go type in like blender, like Theo Von Blender on YouTube, and it'll come up with like a story about his blender getting used in his apartment. It's fucking like just a small story, but
I remember that story. Yeah.
Just the funny, like it doesn't get any fucking funnier than that, in my opinion. But yeah, like, I don't know, like watching, I don't think he's got many specials out. I think 3?
2.
2.
It's 2 on Netflix.
And they're like, to me, they're both just on par with each other. Like, the first one's brilliant, and then you're like, oh, I hope like this next one's as good, and it's just equally as brilliant.
Yeah,
like,
just as good.
Yeah, awesome. Like,
because he's just got such a unique fucking way of getting through shit.
You listen to him on Rogan, man, and Rogan's literally like, this is like a character, right? And Theo's like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like this is a character, bro. And Theo's like, nah, man, this is me. You can tell Rogan's like, there's no way this guy's real.
Oh man,
just some of the shit he comes out with.
Exactly. Like when he was talking about coming here, man, you got to watch out for those koalas. They got coming in. Oh shit, man, you better watch out. I got something too.
Yeah. Just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, just like a brilliant fucking man. I feel like with like out of comedians, when he dies, I'd probably be the saddest. Like even sadder than over my top one. Just because he's just like such a genuine guy.
Yeah.
Like he just wears his heart on his sleeve. He's just a real motherfucker. That'll lead us into your number 2, Ned.
All right, my number 2, who, as you previously mentioned, we're both going to see in a couple of weeks because he's made his way over to the country.
Oh, shit.
It was a bit of a toss-up kind of thing, but I definitely think he fits in there somewhere, especially after like his last 2 specials have been fucking phenomenal, man.
What was the last one called? Ball Hog. That's fucking
dude.
Bro.
So Tom Segura, obviously, but dude, that bit where he's fuck, man, the bit where he's talking about 69ing, like just talking like, imagine your mum and then me, just like, God, it's so visceral.
Is that at the end of the bit where he's just like, now imagine your grandmother?
Yeah.
But no, the way he leads into that, like, that joke was fucking perfect without that end bit. And he just makes it like just little cherry on top, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, now imagine.
That whole special is fucking gold, man. The bit where he's talking about like the kid pushing over, like the random kid at the playground pushing over his other kid.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll kick your chest through your back.
Yeah.
Like, through your back.
So fucking...
It's so violent.
One of my favorite bits out of one of his specials is how he talks about how, like, oh, you can get away with accidentally hitting a kid on purpose. He's like, you just got to make it look like an accident. He's talking about him. Oh my fucking God. Now he's just like a dad with like 2 kids.
And his kids are psychos.
Oh, you can only imagine, like, look at their fucking parents. Like, you've got Christina, who's in her own right, I'd say one of the funniest female comedians.
Oh, 100%.
Like, just doing shit for herself. Right?
Yeah.
And then you've got that motherfucker who,
Yeah.
like, what? He does fucking his podcast with Christina. He does fucking Two Bears, which are, like, super successful.
Yeah.
Constantly fucking on tour and shit at the moment. Like, he's just fucking killing it, man. It's so
Absolutely
sick to
killing
see.
it, man.
And yeah, we got to go fucking see him the end of this month. I think I'm going on the 20th.
You're going on like 20th or the 21st, and I'll be seeing him on the 27th in Melbourne.
Yeah. It's going to be fucking dope.
It's going to be so fucking good. But like just one of those people who's just got such a consistent back catalogue, man. Like every one of his specials is good.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched anything he's on that's not good.
No, I legit don't think I've like seen a Tom Segura bit where I'm like, like that was okay, or like that didn't really make me laugh. Like every one of his bits is so good.
His old, just random shit he used to put on YouTube, where he was like the mayor, but he was a crackhead.
Yeah.
What? And he just done that, like he paid a lot of money to do that, man. And it was just like a little video series that he put on his YouTube for a while.
You ever seen the video of him and Ryan Sickler getting into that? Like they do like it's a skit. It goes for like 9 minutes. It's called 9 Inches.
Yeah.
And it's about like the height of Tom Cruise or some shit like that. And I think they get into a shootout in their house over it or something.
Yeah. Just the silliest shit. But yeah, that was part of that series that he did.
The dance video.
Okay, yeah, we got to talk about this fucking dance. Well, Bert's neither of our number 1, but he needs an honorable mention.
Oh, 100%.
Because he is doing fucking big things too. Yeah. But like,
and I can't admit, like, you know, obviously his nickname's The Machine, but he is just a fucking machine. Have you seen the shit that he does to promote on Instagram?
The weirdest shit. Always the weirdest shit. Bro, yeah, he got fucking flagged on something because he, like, one of the things he promoted on Instagram, just like in the mirror in the background behind the dates, had his dick.
Oh, that's right.
And he got like flagged for it, but like, what a fucking tripper. Who does that? But yeah, like this fucking dance off was ridiculous. Who started it?
Bird did, because it wasn't even aimed at Tom or anything like that. He just did it as like a promo for his dates kind of shit.
And Tom just takes it
and
like,
Tom spent like 30 grand or something.
It was literally just like,
dude, he got
this then.
Like, you know how like he had that dude that like looked like him?
Yeah.
He paid like several like tens of thousands of dollars for deep fake technology.
Yeah.
Because if you watch the video of him showing it to Bird, and then like Bird's like laughing, and then all of a sudden he flips and he starts calling him a cunt. There was a full, like, he got him for like a full afternoon and like got him into thinking like, oh, it's just like new promo shots for the podcast, and got like full like 3D imaging and shit of his head and pasted it on this guy's body.
Bro, the fucking funniest shit. But like, go watch both them dance videos.
Yeah.
Both are fucking
Bert's first.
Hilarious.
You got to watch Bert's first, and then
100.
And then the best way to watch it would be to watch Bert's and then watch like Tom showing Bert his video.
Yeah. Everybody's like, what the fuck?
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh man.
And then speaking
Crack
of
up.
two bears, like just if you're having a bad day,
Yeah.
search two bears safety Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You will
The funniest
fucking die of laughter.
Literally so fucking funny.
For safety.
Safe.
And then just in the middle of it, like Bert, just makes the worst but the best noises when he laughs.
Yeah.
But he's just like gurgling in the middle of it.
sounds-
He's like, "Get come to your house."
He sounds like a fucking hyena as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
That or Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Kool-Aid's good too.
Kool-Aid's fucking great.
Is that Kool-Aid?
It's so much sugar.
Yeah. Oh, them two are the best together, dude.
Oh,
They're
fucking hell.
best. Another thing you keep an eye on with them two on is Sober October, which
Yeah.
is like my number one's a big part of it. I mean, I've got him tattooed on me, so he'd want to be fucking pretty high up there, fucking the man, the myth,
Let's move on to it.
the Jewish legend, Irish fear. So yeah, Irish definitely my number one.
Yeah. You watched his latest special?
Which one?
You.
Yeah. I watched that. Yeah, when I was out.
I haven't got around to it yet. Is it
Really
good?
Yeah, it's really fucking good. Really well done.
Yeah.
Some of the bits in it are like, oh shit.
Oh,
But then
dude,
it's
he
like,
worked
oh,
on
it's
it
him.
for years.
It was like 5 years or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just fucking brilliant, man. Fucking brilliant. Especially done before that too, Double Negative.
Yes, I watched
Like-
that one.
Just fucking so fucking brilliant. Like both sides of it fucking done so well. You can literally sit there, watch one of them. Oh yeah, go like a month, watch the other one. You don't need to watch them together type thing.
Yep.
Then you can just watch them as a double special. That cunt's fucking genius, man. I can't wait to fucking see him live.
Oh, that'll be fucking great.
Yeah. But he's just a dark, evil motherfucker. and I
Oh,
love it.
yeah.
There's only been two people that are glad Kobe's dead, and it's me and him.
Jeez. But yeah, like fucking, I've actually like recently started getting into his podcast a lot. I just love the way that he structures it. Like he kind of
Yeah.
like has just a very like specific topic that they'll kind of talk around kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it might lead down different paths, but it's always like based around that. Like,
Yeah.
He had Theo on. They went for a hike while he had Theo on, and they just spoke about hiking.
Yeah.
And shit, essentially. It's just like such a mad episode to actually like fucking just put on and go for a hike.
Yeah,
It's-
100%.
You like, yeah. I love just how brutally honest he is.
Yeah.
I feel like it's my fucking favorite thing.
Yeah, he doesn't mince words with anyone,
No.
which is good. It's the like, it's a genuine personality.
Yeah, 100%.
And then, like, it's funny because like he says a lot of like mean shit, but at the end of the day, he is like a really like morally good person kind of thing.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, well, obviously, like, Rogan trusts him and shit.
Yeah.
Like, if Rogan trusts him, it's like, goes pretty far.
I mean, apart from drugging Bert.
You know what I mean? It's Bert.
It's Bert.
Like, I get it. I get being upset. Like, if Bert's kids weren't in the picture,
Yeah,
No one would
that's the
give a
thing that
flying
makes it
fuck.
a little bit iffy. If it was like, if his family was away on holiday and you dosed him with Molly, hilarious.
I don't think Bert would have even cared. I feel
No,
like
God,
Bert's
no.
whole
It
issue.
wouldn't have even been a thing.
Nah, Bert's whole issue was like, oh, it would have been like, oh, yeah, this cunt drugged me and everything. But it's like, yeah, no. My kids are in the next room.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I had to try to keep it together while they're around.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
You know, Aries doesn't have shit drugs.
Yeah.
And he's not putting like, oh, just give him a little bit. Like, he's like dosing him. And then he had to be on a plane later too. I couldn't imagine the anxiety of like he hates planes. Bert
Yeah.
does. And have to be on a plane afterwards.
That'd be fucking the worst.
Nah, but I'll tell you what. Fuck you, Bert. Don't be a little fucking snitch.
Bert
Rat my
fucks
boy
dogs.
out on a fucking podcast.
Bert fucks
Fucking-
dogs.
Hey?
Bert fucks dogs.
I have heard that. I have heard that he fucks dog and he actually weighs 450 pounds.
Probably about that. Give or take 20 on the up.
I'd say 25 to be honest. But,
He's the real big show.
Yeah, well, I don't even think they got the same kind of hairline.
Hey. They do, don't they?
Are they the
I wouldn't
same
be
person?
surprised.
Is the Big Show Bert and he's just lost weight? And like everyone's like, oh, like Bert's fat. And he's just like, I lost fucking 300 pounds. It used to be the Big Show. They announced me at 700 pounds one day.
I've also shortened like fucking 4 feet.
I fucking love Berto. I'm glad he got an honorable mention now
Yeah.
in our things because like, yeah, this wasn't getting on the list. So I feel like where your number one Just go on. So hit us.
Exactly. And you know what my number one is. I mentioned him last week and actually gave him a fucking shout out and a thank you. Mr. Bill Burr.
The man.
Oh, dude, like,
The myth.
he's the GOAT. He is the
I beg to
fucking
differ.
GOAT. You can beg to differ all you like, man. Fucking, there is no more legendary bit than there is no reason to hit a woman.
Except these reasons.
Except what?
And then he's like, except these reasons.
No, but it's just brilliant because he starts it
so
in that
well
way. He's like, he fucking turns the entire room against him and then, like,
Fights his way back.
fights his way back, and by the end, everyone is fucking cheering. And then it's just had so many moments like that. Have you ever watched the Philadelphia incident? It goes like, you can't find very good footage of it, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
So there was
I
like a
will watch,
weird. This is how Bill Burr like gained like he was obviously a good stand-up before that, but this is how he blew up. So there was a show. It was like had a bunch of fucking stand-ups on it, kind of thing. It was like during the day, like it was like part of a big football match or something like that. So everyone's like outside, like drunk, tailgating and shit like that. So obviously the crowd's a bit shitty. Legendary comic Dom Herrera goes out and ends up getting like booed off stage kind of shit. And people, like one of the openers had a really bad set, so it kind of turned the entire crowd. So they were just getting worse and worse and more unruly and like starting fires and throwing shit around and shit.
Yeah.
Burr comes out, tries to do like a minute or two of stand-up and they start booing him. He loses his fucking mind. Starts telling these people that he wants their mother to die of like venereal, like cunt cancer. Like just goes on about how shit their sports team is, how they should fucking kill themselves. Just literally the most heinous shit humans have ever said to another human. And then we'll just rattle off a sentence and then look at the clock and just go, all right, 12 minutes. What the fuck can I talk about now? Just 15 minutes of just fuck you, Philadelphia.
That's fire.
Dude, it was ridiculous. And it was like, you can tell none of it's an act. Like he just loses his fucking mind. Yeah. And it's absolutely fucking great.
That's fucking brilliant.
So if you haven't watched it, and you know, you've got to have a pretty like, he says some pretty fucking out there shit. But it's one of those things as well, like you're standing backstage all day listening to like people that you look up to get fucking booed.
Yeah.
Just because a fucking opener had a shitty set. So,
yeah,
you know, you can understand where he was coming from.
Yeah, which is like bound to happen. He's an opener.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
People in Philadelphia have said worse.
I feel like the only thing they've ever had that's good was like a cream cheese, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, fuck you.
And Rocky.
Yeah, I mean, and Rocky, but it's a fucking fictional character. You know,
actually, Joe Louis.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, yeah, just a fucking brilliant comic, man. Well, like the end of the fucking day, and also one of the best podcasts ever because he literally just gets on and just rants by himself for a fucking hour and a bit. And it's interesting as well. Like if you're an avid listener of the podcast, there's been a couple of times where he said something on the podcast, and then I've like a year or two later, it shows up in a special.
Yeah,
it's just interesting. Like you've noticed he's had that thought, and then he's gone, "This is a bit," and he fucking works on it. But his shift through stand-up has been so interesting because he's the same comic he was.
Yeah.
Right? He does, like, he fucking obviously has his, like, thing where he walks around on stage and leans on the fucking mic stand and shit like that. He's got his presence and his cadence and all that kind of thing. And that's all the same and the way that he delivers things. But his material has just shifted so much over the past couple of years because he's, like trying to change himself as a human. He's had kids as like an older age. Exactly. He's a family man kind of thing. But then he also still has these like just out there fucking well, not out there takes. Like in his last special of Red Rocks, he has the bit that went viral about the WNBA. And he was just talking about how, well, like women should be supporting it. You can't complain if you're not then buying tickets and going to the fucking games and supporting these women.
Yeah.
It's just simply how it works. But once again, just does it in a brilliant way where he comes up with a fucked concept and then just turns everybody around by the end of it purely through his words.
So he's a genius, man. You can tell that even by watching his show, the way his show's put together, you're like, all right, yeah, this guy's fucking genius.
Oh, F is for family.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's just like well put together. Like I find it hard to kind of sit through cartoons and shit, but like I can sit and watch that if I need something to kind of watch. So yeah, smart fucking dude.
Yeah, just fucking one of the like my favorite comic of all time. 100%.
Yeah, I fucking knew he was going to be top of the list.
I need to see him before I die.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's probably not far from coming to Oz.
He was talking about it like at the start of last year, but it's kind of fallen off as far as I know.
Yeah.
But then, like, I think he sort of went off touring and now he's back on. So
Yeah, yeah. So,
especially it's like because we're a big trip
yeah,
as well.
yeah, massive.
So you find that bigger comedians will tend to skew their like with Tom, like we're really towards the end of his tour because he doesn't want to come out here and be working on material.
Yeah,
he wants to have it fucking locked and loaded kind of shit.
Yeah, yeah, which makes sense. You don't want to fucking travel to a country who's like
and
waits to see you, whereas in America, man, they get to see their fucking favorite comics every weekend.
Exactly, and it's not to say that he'd be coming out with like going to do theaters with half-baked material kind of thing, but I think he would have been working more on bits through the year that he was touring last year in America, and they'll be like rock solid by the time they get here.
Yeah, yeah, for fucking.
Like I reckon the set that we see will probably be very close to his next special.
Yeah, yeah, I reckon it'd be because his next special is not far off getting filmed, so it'll be pretty much what the special is.
And speaking of specials and like stuff that. Like, we'll go back to my first comedian and, like, specials and shit, man. Like, because I saw Schultz in between the period of time where he filmed that in-between special in Infamous.
Yeah.
And I saw, pretty much a complete set that just doesn't, like, it's nowhere. I think there's maybe, like, one, like, skeleton of frame of a bit that's in Infamous, but other than that, like,
it's
pretty much.
New shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a whole, like, just hour worth of comedy that's like I don't know, kind of sucks that it's lost to time for everybody else, but I know that I got to see it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this little like piece that I have just for me or anybody else that was at that show.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Ned, we got Frankie.
We do get Frankie.
He's coming in.
Who's Frankie? Find out
Monday. It'll be Monday.
Little special app.
By the time it's uploaded, it'll probably be like Tuesday.
Yeah, it depends because I'm also gonna have an eggplant to edit and shit like that. It's gonna be tough next week.
But it is gonna be fucking dope. We got
I'm
Frankie.
not gonna be sleeping much.
Bro, Frankie. Fucking Frankie coming in hot, bro.
Not Franklin.
No.
Fucking calm down over there.
Franklin,
You're already here.
Franklin, we're probably gonna zoom it in, to be honest, so we might not even need you for the day.
You stay on.
Like, I don't want like Frankie and Frank. I don't want any like miscommunications. So yeah, you just have the day off if you want, Franklin. Go to the beach or something, bro. I don't know. Yeah, Frankie will be in. It's gonna be fucking dope. I can't fucking wait. I'm legitimately
fucking excited,
bro. Like,
so excited.
Anytime I start talking about like this, I just get like amped the fuck up, bro. Yeah. This is gonna be fucking dope. I can't wait. I can't wait either. Yeah, we'll have a veggie bake for you as well. You can find us Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Apple, Spotify. You can find us on pretty much any of them things.
At Eggplant Tornado Podcast.
Eggplant Tornado Podcast. The Froome, I feel like should be back.
He'll be back for the depending on when we do the eggplant on a Monday. He should be back for this eggplant.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine he would be.
Which will be good because we've got some stuff coming up. We need his input on.
Yeah, he'll be back from the bush. He's down fucking down bush, mate.
On caves.
Yes. But yeah, he'll be back. And we'll be back at it. I was pretty excited. We've got a couple cool fights this weekend, so
yeah, a couple of decent events. But yeah, we got some more shit happening next weekend. So
yeah, it's gonna be good.
Breakdowns and previews as usual.
It's gonna be dope. Yeah, we'll catch you then.
Yeah, sure will.